in the next 5 years, they might get rid of the rating system starting next year. Because we're at the end of this year. Dad told me this morning. So maybe that's the reason why I want to get rid of the rating system, because it's so inconsistent. Most of the times, it doesn't earn the rating as it thinks it does. And this is one of the ones that it's the most likely cases when it doesn't. And this is one of them. Overall, I'm not going to bump it down and give it a 9 or 8 out of 10. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10 because I just thought this was still such a great character for Batman and Deadshot. And the key, my favorite parts of the film, those two characters. And they were one of the two key things that drive the movie forward, along with Harley Quinn's relationship with Joker, and her relationship with how it relates to and ties into Deadshot's relationship, where they have a one-night stand. But Harley's instantly in love at the one-night stand, and Deadshot's not. So, yeah, I really like, and I also, unlike the Arkham games, where Kevin Conroy phones in his performance as Batman and as Bruce Wayne by using the same voice, the Batman voice that he uses to disguise his voice instead of using his natural voice, which is which is supposed to be his Bruce Wayne voice, and he did that in a cutscene of Arkham City, the first opening cutscene, but then he ditched it and went straight to the Batman voice. I don't know why. So his performance was just mediocre at best. And Arkham Asylum, but even then, I felt like he wasn't giving his 100% and was kind of phoning it in. I don't know if it was the writing or that turned him off from, or maybe he knows that was not as good of a script, or maybe he was just confused on which Batman he was supposed to play, and which kind of take on the character that he wanted him to do. The dark, twisted one from the comics, or the one from the animated series, so they basically wrote it as both. And the anime series that Karen Conroy started. And I like that series. I love that a lot. But the thing is, what that has, that's not the comic Batman, because the comics are much different and darker and more fucked up tone. I like Deathstroke, Knights and Demons, or Matt Reeves' new Batman film teaser trailer, the first one that came out and the only one that came out, showing actual footage and hinting at what the story could be about. It could be basically the Riddler being the main villain and Batman being the hero and detecting stuff and trying to figure out why Riddler's writing to him and what these riddles mean. And it looks really good. A lot. I want the trailer to be better. I don't want the trailer to be better than the movie, like tremendously, like 2008 Dark Knight film. I want it to be as good or better, like the trailer to Joker, all the trailers to Joker, where the movie starring Joaquin Phoenix, where the movie was so much better than every trailer they released, including the final trailer. So, yeah. And my reason why Batman doesn't kill in this movie, because in the live actions and everyone else since Michael Keaton played him, since day one, since Michael Keaton played him, which was directed by Tim Burton, since then Batman has killed in every movie version. Very, very consistently. Or has let people die consistently, to the point it has gotten very old. We only had one Batman film when he didn't kill or let people die, and that was The Dark Knight Rises, which in my opinion is the best solo Batman film. Even though I like Ben Affleck's Batman better, because I think he plays him more like a tormented, tortured soul that's troubled and kind of crazy, and might actually be loony as the criminals he fights. Which, now that being said, that's Batman from the comics, and the animated series because that's his personality. But the one thing that they got wrong is that they let him kill again. And that's, I guess they want to make a more corrupt Batman that's giving up on humanity, but I think you can do that without having him kill people. And because I know this, because they did that in the Dark Knight Returns graphic novel called Batman Dark Knight Returns, which got made into a 2-part movie, then got edited into a one movie, which was a little over 4 hours long. Over 3 hours. It was like around for 4 hours or 6 hours. It was definitely a long film. Real long film. I think it was like a little over 6 hours, or if the deluxe edition of the film that has both part 1 and part 2 into one film, and it was phenomenal. Definitely wicked awesome. Part 1 and part 2. And then I saw part 1 and part 2 separate, like when most people first experienced the film. First, I saw it, the deluxe edition, before I saw part 1 and part 2 separate. Batman Dark Knight Returns, and that to me is a better adaptation and shows a more shows a Batman that has given up on humanity and doesn't see what the point is being Batman, but just does it because he feels like the world still needs a Batman. Even though he doesn't really want to do it, he just feels like he needs to do it because he feels like humanity's given up and he has given up on humanity. So he feels like he needs to put on the costume one more time. Once again, become Batman once again. And he's rusty. And not as athletic as he used to be. Not at all. And to a point where when he uses the bat rope to grab on to warehousing, he has trouble lifting his own weight, even despite that he's in great shape and well built for his age, because he's just gotten old. Not because he doesn't take care, but because he's just gotten old, you know. So yeah, but that to me was as a better movie and all along a better adaptation of the Batman that they were trying to go for, that Ben Affleck played in Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, the full title is. And I feel like the reason why that's a better Batman is because they do that without trying to butcher his character and kill that 8-year-old completely. By letting him kill that really angry 8-year-old that has a lot of anger because his parents died because of the corruption of Gotham City and his parents. And then there's there's many takes on how you could tell the origin story. I guess I understand why they don't want to tell a third origin Batman of a fourth origin story of Batman, but I'm glad that Ben Affleck's Batman got his origin story, because I feel like that's the best way to tell it. While it doesn't really tell his origin story. the reason why they tell that origin story because it ties in to the third act, and when Bruce hears Clark say "Massa" and realizes he has become a really horrible, shitty person, and he has been a douche to Superman, and he throws away the. That's what makes him throw away the kryptonite spear, and then he thinks the only way to make this right is if he saves Superman's mother, which he sees that as because this makes sense in his deranged, unstable mind. And for Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, and that gets a 10 out of 10. The theatrical cut and the extended cut, and Batman Assault on Arkham I love a lot more than Batman v Superman, both versions of the film, because I feel like there was a better way you could have just let Batman kill without. I feel like there's a better way to do that. Let Batman, if you wanted Batman to kill, I feel like there's a better way you can do that. Like show him a time when he didn't kill, flashback or something, and flashback and some sort of flashback montage or kind of present, if it kind to past and present when Batman was in his youth and didn't kill and felt like he did believe in something, which was humanity. I mean, other than that, that's the only thing I would change. That's the only thing by adding that. The rest can stay in the film. That was in the cash cut, but so yeah, that's the only thing I would change about the story. But other than that, it's a pretty solid film. And so is Batman Assault on Arkham, which in my opinion is not only have the better Batman, but a better story. So yeah, that's why I like this a lot more than Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Which this movie, Batman Assault on Arkham, I'm going to end it by saying it's a 10 out of 10. Yes, I know I said that once, more than once. Meant to say more than once. So don't quote me by me saying the opposite, okay? I don't really. The thing is, the reason why I make mistakes in my videos because I don't. They're unscripted, and they're basically, and also unedited because it's me talking to a camera about a movie and me giving my thoughts on it out in the world. The same goes for when I'm talking about my bad memories. That's why you see me post videos up and up and up and up like a crazy person. Because, yeah, that's why. Hope you guys enjoy this review on my analysis of Batman Assault on Arkham, which I already said a 10 out of 10, but I'm saying the final video, which is this one, because I wanted to hammer it home that how much I love Batman Assault on Arkham, and one I see it's the best thing in the Arkham franchise, and counting the underwhelming, mediocre, and half-time mediocre, half-time shit, which the shit ones are Arkham City and Arkham Knight. Don't let anyone tell you different. And I personally think Arkham Knight's a better game that tells a better story than Arkham City because Batman feels more overpowered there than he did in Arkham Knight. And I think Arkham Origins the second best thing that Arkham franchise has come out with. I haven't read any of the tie-in comics or the comic adaptations, but they look cool, like this movie. So maybe I want to check them out that one day, but I'm not making any promises or making any promises I'll review. I just saying I gave my final thoughts on Batman Assault on Arkham, which is my first thing that the Arkham franchise come out. That's all I want to make that clear, okay? I don't. And what's great about this is, it ties. Oh, sorry. You don't have to see play any of the Arkham games to follow along. The ties in. I'm guessing somewhere before Arkham Asylum and after Arkham Origins. It feels like that's where it ties in. And the reason why I say it ties in before Arkham City is because Joker dies in Arkham City at the end. Yeah, big spoilers in case you didn't know. I just want to say that's why I don't see it takes place after Arkham City. I know a lot of people, some people out there think it does, but that's when the films come out. I just want to clear it takes place before Arkham City. Maybe it takes place between Arkham City and Arkham Asylum, but the trailer says behind the world of Arkham Asylum. So I'm guessing that this movie takes place. This is a prequel / continuation of Arkham Asylum and Arkham Origins. Yeah, the reason why I see this is because Batman has more anger in him, a lot more anger in him than he ever did in Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight. He had more anger in him in Arkham Origins, but that was when he was first becoming Batman and still trying to figure out what he stands for, what the purpose of being Batman is to him. But also taking his anger out on the criminals because of that he built up because of his parents dying at such a young age for him. And it traumatized him. Besides made him traumatized, it also built him also was a lot of anger towards corrupt people in the city of Gotham. So he seems more well adjusted, but still very, very impatient compared to where it was in Arkham Origin. So that is why I think this takes place before Arkham Asylum, but after Arkham Origins, and definitely after the sequel to Arkham Origins, which is DLC pack, in a sequel to Arkham Origins, the second sequel to Arkham Origins, which is a DS film, and the reason why a DS game, because the reason why I think that is because he didn't have the iconic blue and gray suit that he's known for in the comics, and also well known for the first two Arkham games that were made, which was Arkham City and Arkham Asylum. I'm basically a history lesson on the game. I already talked about the movie, depending on and if you want to know what my thoughts and I love the film Batman Assault on Arkham, and I gave it a 10 out of 10. I gave my freaking blah 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 and talked about the story, what I loved about, what I loved about, what I didn't really appreciate, which is not that much. Just sometimes it feels like the film's holding your hand because you can't handle because it doesn't seem you can handle it going all out on what the intention was. So, and that's my thoughts. Bye. This time is really bye, okay? I know I said bye before, but this time it's for real, okay? Watch me stop the video. Watch me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, go.